Hello and welcome to your latest Maths Wizard video. Today we're going to be looking at highest common factors. So the main thing you'll be able to do by the end of this video is work out the highest common factor of two numbers. So just a bit of a recap before we do that on factors. So remember, a factor of a number is a number that always divides the given number evenly or exactly, leaving no remainders. So for example, if we've got the number 6, that's a factor of 12. Because when you do 12 divided by 6, you get 2. You don't get any remainders there. Another example, 5 is a factor of 100 because 100 divided by 20 will give you 5. So 5 goes into 100 exactly 20 times. And remember, the key thing with factors are always going to be the same size or smaller than a number. So the factors of 20 will be 20 or smaller, as you can see there. So that's an important thing to remember when we work out highest common factors. Okay, so what does the highest common factor mean? Well, the highest common factor is the highest number that can be divided exactly into each of two or more numbers. So it's just one specific number that will divide equally into two or more numbers. It'll be the highest one. So for example, 6 is the highest common factor of 12 and 18 because it's the highest number that will go into 12 and 18 an equal number of times. So 6 goes into 12 twice. It goes into 18 3 times. Now there are other numbers that go into 12 and 18. So for example, 1, 2 and 3 all go into 12 and 18, but that's not the highest number those are not the highest numbers that go into 12 and 18. So when we're looking for the highest common factor, it's got to be the highest number. Okay, so if we look at a relatively straightforward example, we've got 15 and 12 here. So I want to know the highest common factor of 15 and 12. So I'd like you to pause your video and then have a go. Okay, if we take a look at this then, now the way I would usually approach this is like this. I would take the lowest number here. Now, one thing to ask yourself first is, does the lowest number go into the high number? Does 12 go into 15? It doesn't in this case. So we know that 12 is not your answer. So I'm going to write down the factors of 12 now. So we've got 1, we've got 2, we've got 3, we've got 4. 5 does not, but 6 does. And then we've got the number 12 itself. Now what I would do is you can write out the factors of 15 as well. So we've got 1, 3, 5, and 15 there. Or you can just, once you've got the factors for the lowest number, you can just go through and go, right, well, does 12 go into 15? Nope. So the highest common factor can't be 12. Does 6? Nope. So it can't be 6. Does 4? No. But 3 does, so the answer must be 3. So if you start with your lower number, you can just save yourself a bit of writing, really, but it's sometimes quite useful just to check there. And as you can see, 3 is the one that's in both of those lists. There is the highest number that's in both of those lists. So 3 will be your answer. Now, if we take a look at this next one then, so I want to know this time the highest common factor of 15 and 30. So if you pause your video and have a go. Okay, so your answer for this one then is 15, and you can save yourself a bit of writing on this one. So if we look, the lowest number here we've got is 15. Well, does 15 go into 30? You do 30 divided by 15, you get 2, which tells you that it does. So if that lower number goes into the higher number, you know straight away that that is the highest common factor. We do another one then. So it's definitely not 36 here. So if you just have a go, pause your video, see what you get. Okay, so I'm going to write out my factors of 36. If we start with 1, I'm going to write them in pairs this time. So we've got 1 and 36 because we do 1 times 36. This just is a good way of making sure you don't miss any. You got 2. We have to do 2 times 18 to get 36. We've got 3. We've got to do 3 times 12 to get 36. We've got 4. We've got to do 4 times 9 to get 36. 5 does not go into 36. Then we've got 6. Now if we go up, 7, 8, and we've already got 9, 10 and 11 do not go into 36. And then we get to 12 then. So that kind of tells you you've got them all there. Well, if we have a look at these then, well, we need to find out which one of these goes into 45. So we know 36 doesn't. We know 18 doesn't. We know 12 doesn't. But 9 does. So 9 is your highest common factor here. It's the highest number that goes into 36 and 45. We've obviously got some other common we've always got some other common factors there. So 3 does go into both of those numbers as well, and so does 1. But it is not the highest common factor. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple of harder examples now then. So the way that you approach these can be done the same way, but it's a little bit trickier doing larger numbers this way. So I want you to have a go first, and then I'm going to show you a way of doing it using product of prime factors. So it's just a slightly different way of doing this question. Okay. Okay, so the way that we're going to do this is we're going to use product of prime factors. So we need to find both of these numbers as a product of prime factors first. So if we look at this one, we've got 60. Well, let's do, I don't know, 2 lots of 30 maybe. Well, 2 is prime, so we can circle that. Then we've got 10 and 3. 3 is prime. Then we've got 2 and 5 there, and both of those are prime. So we've got 2 times 2 times 3 times 5 there for that one. If we look at this one, let's think, if we half it, we've got 2 there, and then we're going to have 57 for that one. Now 57, ooh, tricky one, 57. So that is, ooh, it goes into 57, 3 and 9 is in the 3 times table, isn't it, that one? So we can have 3 and then 19 there for that one. Quite a tricky one, that one. So now what we need to do is draw a little Venn diagram. So draw a little Venn diagram like this. Now we need to look at the factors, the number of times these factors appear in both. And if you look at 2 and 3, that is there and there. So that goes in the middle. Now the other ones, 19, only goes here. So we've got 2 times 3 times 19. And then the other 2 and the 5 go here. Now the reason these numbers in the middle is because if you multiply these numbers in the middle together, that will tell you the highest common factor of 60 and 114. So this is just another way of doing it, which is quite useful if you've got much higher numbers. It's a bit trickier writing out factors of numbers when you've got a big long list. Okay, but if you did want to do it that way, you could start with 60. And you could sort of work your way downwards. And if you want, you could sort of work out all your factors of 16. You could still do it that way if you wanted to, but this way might be a bit less time consuming, I would say. Okay, all right. So if we ever go at this other one, then we'll do it I may try and have a go the same way with the Venn diagram. So if you pause your video and see what you can figure out. Okay, so if we look at 84 then, I'm going to use 2 to start with. So 2 is prime. 42 goes here. And then we've got 6 and 7. So 7's prime. And then we've got 2 and 3. So here we've got 2 times 2 times 3 times 7 for 84. Now 120, I'm going to maybe do 12 and 10 there, get the numbers nice and small. Perhaps do 3 and 4 for your 12. 3 is prime. 2 times 5 gives you 10. They're both prime. Now if we go again with the 4, we've got 3 and... No, not 3, sorry. What am I talking about? We've got 2 and 2 there for that. So then for the 120, we've got 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. So now what we need to do is have a look at doing a little Venn diagram again. So we've got 84 and we've got 120. Right, I'm just try and make that a bit bigger so I can get a bit more space there in my Venn diagram, I think. Okay, so now we need to try and fit these into the Venn diagram. So if we look at the only ones that appear the same number of times, like 2 is here twice, it's also here twice. Okay, it actually appears 3 times for 120 there, but because it only appears twice here, that tells us those two 2's have to go in the middle. Now 7 is only here, it's only in the 84, it's only a factor of 84, so that goes here. The 5 is only a factor of 120, so that goes here. Then you've got this additional 2 down there that goes into this one. Now, but then we've got this 3, so that goes here and it goes here. So if you look in the middle now, you've got 2, 2 and 3. So if we do 2 times 2 times 3, that will give you 12. So 12 is your highest common factor of 84 and 120. Okay, that's it for this video then. So thank you very much for listening. Quite a long one today, but it is quite a challenging topic, this one. So if you'd like to subscribe to my channel, there'll be loads more videos posted over the next few months. So thanks very much for listening. Bye bye.